Take a nice deep breath in, extend the arms overhead. And then release. And then we'll take just the right arm overhead, stretching out. Big stretch, maybe shuffle the feet a little bit around to the left. So I've got right arm, legs shuffling around to the left to open up through the side of the body. All right, now we're going to release that side down. We'll take the left arm up, shuffle the feet a little bit over to the right to open up the left side of the body. And then release, bring the arms back down. And either place the hands beside the body or underneath the buttocks. We're going to take the legs into the air and begin some slow cycling. Point and flex the feet. Get the ankle joints moving, knee joints, hips. And then can we go backwards? And relax the feet back to the floor. All right, we're going to release the arms out to the sides. Let's roll both knees over to the right. Easy twist. And then coming back to the center and over to the left. Coming back into the center, knees to chest, little rocks side to side of the knees. And rolling over, come onto hands and knees. So into our cat pose. And we'll do a little dip down as we breathe in. On the exhale, rounding up through the spine. And keep flowing with your breath. One more round. And when you finish that exhale, back to a neutral position. We'll take the hands a little further in front, turn the toes under, and then easing up into our downward facing dog. So if you want to do a little walk out on the spot, alternate them in one and then the other. And release. Heels back towards the floor, head relaxed, looking at the feet. And then we'll walk the hands and feet towards each other, coming into our forward bend. We're going to roll up through the spine. So let's take a breath in and slowly coming up. All right. So, this is where the sequence begins. We're going to be starting with a balanced tree pose. We will end up stepping back behind us. So if we can stand towards the front of the mat, but you might also want your bricks near the top of your mat as well. Come back a little bit more. All right. So, tree pose is our native posture. So we're going to balance on the right foot. We shall take the left foot off the floor and bring the hands together. So you can have that toes on the ground, Foot on the inner thigh. Bring it all the way up into the hole. Doesn't really matter. Open that knee up to the side a little bit more as we take the arms up. Steady breath. Or release. Now we have a big step back. So this leg we're going to step it all the way back onto our mats. And we're coming into warrior two. So we should end up facing that way. So step the other foot back. That's it. Alright, so we've got that right knee bending in line with the toes there. Relax the shoulders down. So we're going to be holding this leg position for a few different poses. If you need to ease off at any time, you can always sort of back it off a little bit. So we're going to now place that right arm over on the thigh, reaching top arm overhead for supported angle pose. Opening the gaze towards the ceiling. And then we'll come back to our center. Warrior two, front knee bent, just over the ankle there. And we're going to keep that front right knee bent as we take that left hand down, turn the right palm up, gaze into the right palm for reverse warrior. So keep bending into your front right knee. And then we'll release back to our warrior two. So now if we can go a little deeper into our angle pose. So this is where you could use a brick if you like. You can place the brick behind the ankle there. And we'll glide over the front leg, bring that hand down, top arm overhead again if it's comfortable. So a little bit deeper. We'll come back to our warrior two. We've got one more pose here with these legs. We're going to straighten now into the front leg. Triangle pose, so gliding over, and then once more, hand to the shin or back to the brick, whichever is comfortable. And breathing and coming all the way back up. So release the arms down, turn the feet to face forward, so towards the windows there. And we have a forward bend. So again, you can have hands on bricks or onto the floor. So let's fold forwards and see whether it's comfortable to take hands to the ground or not. If not, you can use your brick. So from here, can we soften the knees a little bit and then sit back a little bit more with the hips and then take one hand forward, match with the other hand forwards and relax the head between the upper arms and ease back with the hips, maybe straighten the legs or keep the knees bent. Breathe deeply. This is a wide-legged downward dog. And then bringing hands back under the shoulders, lifting the head up, straightening the arms. And we'll turn the heels in, bend the knees a little bit. Place the elbows on the thighs and encourage the knees out wide as we sit down with the buttocks. All right, we're going to roll it up. And from here, turn that right foot out to the top of the mat, so back towards me. And then we'll take that left foot a little further across. So we're going to now face the top end of our mat. And again, this is where you may want bricks for the hands. So we're going to bend the front knee, take the hands to the floor or onto your supports. And then lift that back heel off the ground. So we're in a long, high lunge. And then we'll place that back on the ground. So we'll have a little rest here. We're going to step the right leg back. If you like padding for your knees, you can definitely have that set up now. So I'm going to fold into a child pose. You can do several versions. You can have knees wide, arms in front. And you can support the head on the hands if that is more comfortable. We'll then roll it back up, bring the knees back in if they were wide, and step your right foot forwards. So now we'll lift up into 17Jan26, a low lunge. And then we'll bring the hands down, and we'll be straightening into the front leg. So again, if you like to have the hands a little higher, you can have a hand on each brick or brick under the chest. But lift the toes, lift the kneecap. Enjoy that sensation in the back of the leg. Alright, I'm going to place that front foot back on the ground, bend the front knee. Now we're going a little deeper into the hips here. So both hands, big toe side of the foot now, as we sink into that thigh and hip. And now you've got some choices. You can stay here. You could use your bricks, rest the forearm on the bricks. Or you may be comfortable to go all the way to the floor. So you need your right foot out quite wide to get down to the ground. All right, up with the arms and the body. Another step back to have another little rest for the hip flexors so we can soften, relax, however you like to relax. And then coming back to hands and knees. Now our next posture is pigeon pose, working on the glutes, hip flexors. Modified version, so if you've got knees that do not like the full pose, the modified version will be left leg behind, sweep it around, slide back onto the forearms. So that's one way to do this pose. Full version, right knee up towards the hand, bring the foot across in front of the left knee, and then sink the left hip towards the heel or the floor as we relax forwards. So the key is we do not want knee pain. So if you've got knee pain, do the first version, which was left leg behind. So on modified version, we start from cat. Take your left leg behind, sweep it around to the right, slide back onto your forearms. So I'm letting my left knee rest on the floor. Left knee relax down on the ground. So this foot, not like that, like that. You want to relax. coming back up onto the hands, and we'll roll onto that right buttock and sweep the left leg around the front. So I'll match up to suit where you're. So I look the same now. So you should have right leg in front, left knee bent. All right. We've got a few poses here. So let's begin with a little forward bend. So it's Janushosasana, head to knee. Just relaxing the gaze to the shin. Hands either side of the leg, or if you're comfortable, you can hold the foot. And then breathing up. So now a twist. We're going to twist over to the left. So left hand behind, right hand to the knee. You see we've all gone in different directions. So when we get to this in the next part, make sure that you're doing the opposite side. Because some of you have got your left leg forward, some of you have got your right foot forward. So. All right, let's come back to face the front. The leg that is straight, I'm not talking right and left anymore, the straight leg will swing around, so both feet are now pointing in the same direction. So some of you are going to be facing that way, some of you are going to be facing that way, depending on what you've done. Now we have a twist. We're going to twist towards the feet. So I'm going to bring this hand behind, other hand can rest anywhere it's comfortable. I'm trying to relax the hip down. And then we'll release out of that twist. Now we're going to push up onto the knees. So the hand that is furthest away from the feet goes to the floor. We'll come up onto the knees, top arm overhead, stretch it out. And then we'll come back down to the ground. And we can all be the same here with the feet together. So we've got knees out to the sides, bound ankle pose. We're trying to lengthen the knees out and down, and tall spine. So easing off a little bit with that, take both legs out wide as we comfortably can. We want to try and get right onto our sit bones. And think about your pubic bone here at the front. See if we can tilt the pubic bone a little bit more to the floor. We'll place the hands in front, and again, you could raise the floor up with a grip if that feels better. And we'll ease forwards however we can. Trying to soften and relax. Releasing any tension. And the part that you're feeling the most, so whichever part of your body is calling out to you at this point, that's the area you want to soften into. All right, breathing back up. Keep the legs as they are. And we'll all go over to the right side, that way. So we're going to place the elbow in the thigh, take our left arm up, and relax over. So you've got choices. You can keep this in the air. You could rest it on the hip. You could bring the hands together to make a nice little diamond around the head, or you could have aspirations to go towards your toes. Any of those versions are fine. I quite like this one. All right, breathing in, coming out. We get to bring the legs in, a little loose off. Now we have some core strength coming up. We'll do Navasana, the boat pose. So bending the knees, hold behind the back of the legs, feet off the floor, shins parallel to the ground, and then see if it's possible to let go. If it's too much, you can always bring the hands back in. If you're feeling pretty keen with this, you could straighten the legs, so it's a little stronger again. So, options. Alright, release back down. Come over onto the hands and the knees. And we will be moving into downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Nice deep belly breaths. And then coming forwards into our plank position. So it's shoulders over wrists. Feel free to modify with knees or forearms on the floor. And of course, breathe. Make sure you're lifting through the thighs and the belly, but don't take those hips too high. Straight line from shoulders to heels. Now we'll place the knees on the ground and we get to release all the way down to the floor. Have a little rest. So we have some back strength now coming up. Position your feet so that they're hip width. Let the heels roll out away from each other. And place the hands just in front of the shoulders, elbows tucked in. So we will not be using the hands to lift. We'll use our back strength. So breathing in, lift the head, lift the chest, lift the hands, keep the feet relaxed on the floor. And come back down. Now if you found that that was a bit of a struggle, for the next movement you can use your arms for support. So we're going to be doing a squeeze into the side of the body. So the supported version will be left forearm across and right hand on the floor. So we're going to go 3 times to the right side, we'll come back, we'll rest, and then 3 times to the left. Unsupported version is with the hands fully off the floor, a bit stronger. So let's start by breathing in, lifting the head, chest, maybe the hands, or maybe have your left forearm across. We're going to exhale, squeeze to our right. Take a breath in, back to center. And then exhale again to the right. And back to center. One more. And then when you come back, come down and rest. Really soften the legs and the buttocks. Alright, setting now for the left side, so if you prefer support, right forearm across the front there. We're going to breathe in, lift up. Exhale, squeeze to our left. We inhale back to our center. And exhale. So if I'm doing supported version, it looks a little like this. And then I come back to the center. And then we've got one more exhaling to our left. And we come back in and down and rest. Alright, bend the knees. Take the feet for a little roll side to side. And then up onto hands and knees. And back to a downward dog to move the tailbone towards the heels. So we're getting that little stretch in the lower back. Opening up after the back bend. And then hands and feet walking towards each other. And this time we'll come into a chair pose. So you want your feet hip width apart, bend your knees, sit back with the hips as you gently lift the head, sweep the arms out in front, all the way up. You can relax the arms back down. There we go. That's one side done. We're halfway through. So, lots of poses. So, again, if you want your grip sort of nearby, I've got mine all over the place. But we start with our tree pose. So, standing towards the top of your mat. And this time we'll be balancing on the left foot. We are going to take the right foot off the floor. And remember, it can be anywhere from all the way up high to touching the ground. Bring the hands together, extending up if you can. Opening that knee to the side. Relax gaze. So we'll take those arms out. And then it's a big step back with that right foot. So coming into our warrior two, so now you'll be facing that direction. So you should have your left knee bent, left foot pointing straight to the top of the mat. Arms out over the feet. Make sure your front left knee is bending in line with your toes. And we'll ease over to our ankle pose. So resting forearm on the thigh, sweep the top arm overhead, open the chest towards the sky. Arm coming down, back to our warrior two. Legs staying strong. So relaxing right hand to right thigh, turn left palm up, breathe into our reverse warrior, so we're looking into the top hand, keeping that left knee bent, knee just over the ankle if you can. And then back to our warrior two. So we're going to glide over, and this is where you can add a grip if you like. And we're bringing the hand behind the leg. You can also come back onto the forearm. If you like the grip, have it behind. We'll reach all the way back up. And now we're going to straighten into the front leg for triangle pose. So begin to glide over that left leg and release the hand either to the shin or back onto the grip. Check that you're breathing into the belly. Alright, top arm coming up. Release the arms and we'll pivot the feet to face forwards. So you'll be facing that wall over there. And we have our forward bend coming up. So we're going to release forwards, hands either to the floor or onto that brick. And if you're happy to fold a little deeper this time, you can walk your hands back between the feet as we release the crown of the head towards the floor. So really trying to lengthen the back now. Same same time, we want to lift the buttocks, the sit bones up to the sky. If you can, try to keep the legs straight. So it's not about getting your head resting on something, it's more about just getting the length. So hips high, head relaxed, deep breathing. And then next breath in, coming back to that neutral position, lifting head in line with the hips. Turn the heels in, bend the knees. So you've got your feet at a 45-degree angle. Feet are 45. Elbows on the thighs, sitting down a little bit, encouraging the knees out wide. All right, coming all the way up, nice and slow. We're going to pivot the feet, so let's turn the feet to the top of the mat and then go a little bit wider. So perhaps lift that right foot over and across as we're going into our long lunge now. So let's begin to fold forwards, hands either on the bricks or on the floor. And then lift that back heel off the ground, shimmy it out a little longer. We'll place that back knee down. And then stepping back for a rest. So you can do your working child pose, which is knees wide, or you can bring it in a little closer and be more supported. Let's roll it back up. Knees back to hip width. And step your left foot forwards. And we'll come upright with the body. So low lunge. Lifting out of the waist. We'll release the hands back down. And then you can either have your hands here on the brick as we straighten the front leg, or you can have your hands on the floor, but lift the toes. Lift the kneecap and the thigh. Coming forwards again, onto that left foot, both hands now, big toe side of the foot, shoulder on the inside of the knee, and then options of coming down onto the grip or the floor. So deep lunge. Roll the knees back up, and another big step back to relax, soften, any child pose that you prefer. Alright, coming up. So now we'll move into that pigeon pose. The left knee will come up to the left hand. You bring the foot across. Slide back with the right leg and see if we can rest on our forearms. You can also rest up here on a grip. If you want a modified version, let me know. Allow the breath to move into the back of the body. So lengthening back up, roll onto your left buttock and sweep the right leg around to the front. Now this is where people started doing different things. This is actually my right leg forwards. But if I was doing it to face you, which is what I did last time, I have my left foot forwards. So make sure you're doing the opposite of what you did last time if you switched it around. All right. Hopefully you've got that sorted out. You're not doing the same side twice. Let's forward bend. So we're going to ease forwards, facing that front left shin or right shin, depending on which leg you've got. As long as it's the opposite of what you've done. On the breath in, easing up. Now we have our twist. We're twisting towards the bent knee. So I'm going to twist this way, some of you will twist the other way, depending on what you've done. As long as you're twisting the opposite way from last time. Let's come back to the middle. So the straight leg will sweep around. So we've got both feet now pointing off to the side. And then we have an odd little twist the other way. So we're going to twist towards the feet. So twisting towards your feet. And release. All right, the hand that is furthest away from the feet comes out to the side. We're going to push up onto the knees, take that top arm overhead. If it feels weird, you've gone the wrong way, go the other way, it will feel better. And we'll flow it back down. And then we bring both feet back into the middle. Now there's no confusion. So knees out wide, lifting up tall. Maybe try holding on to the feet and see if you can open the soles of the feet up like a book. It may or may not happen, but you'll find it opens those legs up a little bit more. And then we'll let that go. Legs out wide. And I'm trying to come right on top of those sit bones. And then create that little pelvic tilt forwards, pubic bone moving towards the floor there. And then we try to relax forwards. Doesn't matter where you get to. You just soften. Breathe. All right, let's bring ourselves back up. One more stretch with the legs wide. We're going to the left, this way. So we're going to lean over, reach up through that top arm, and then choose your position, whether it's joining the hands, keeping the arm up, or maybe extending towards the toes, whichever works. We'll take a breath in, bring ourselves out. And we get to bring the legs in now. Give them a little shake out. Relax. All right. Boat pose. Bending the knees. Sitting back a little bit behind those sit bones there. And then choosing whether to kick the shins here or all the way up. See if we can let go. And release all the way back down. Over onto hands and knees. So we'll be moving to downward facing dog. Let's curl the toes, take the hips high, and ease ourselves back. Let's take the knees back to the floor. Now for our next one, we'll do what we call dolphin dog. So we're going to come onto the forearms. Elbows are shoulder width or a little bit narrower. The head will hang between the upper arms. So we once more take the knees off the floor and then move back to the chest. From here, slide the feet back until we can come into a forearm plank. So it's just like plank pose, but on our forearms. So again, we want the straight line from shoulders to heels. Try not to have that bend in the hips. You can do this with knees on the floor. So it's not downward dog position anymore. We've got a straight line through the body. Buttocks down, head should be able to look to your thumbs. So looking up, hips down even more if you can for some of you. Best bit is the floor's really close here and we're going to come down onto it. So let's relax. Oh, have a rest. We're near the end, almost there. Breathe, soften. Now we'll move to cobra pose. So if you like a gentle cobra, take the hands wide. In fact, we'll all start with this one. So we're going to place the hands off the mat. Hands are turned out 45 degrees and way ahead of my head. So I'm going to breathe and lift in with my back strength, but then it can be supported through the arms. So you should still have your floating ribs connecting with the floor. It's quite low. And if you've got no issues with your back, you should also be able to hold that position and take the hands off the floor. So we'll just have the hands there and it's supported, it's comfy. So this one you can always come back to if you need to. We're going to come back down, relax. And then if you want to try a higher cobra, bring the hands in about head height. So we're going to breathe in, lift with the back strength, head and chest, and then exhale. We can add the arms now. And if it's comfortable for your back, we can lift a little higher. Elbows are soft, shoulders relaxed, buttocks relaxed as much as we can. And we'll ease down again. Now we have one more. So if you're happy to go higher, you can bring the hands near the chest. But if you prefer not to, stay with that first one that we did. So last one, rising up on the breath in. Exhaling into the posture. Shoulders relaxed. Little softness in the elbows. Maybe gaze up. Press stud the pubic bone to the floor. Breathe. And release all the way back down. Take a rest, however you like to rest. Really big, slow breath in and a relaxed, slow breath out. And from here, we'll move back to a child pose. So onto the knees, and then hips back towards the heels as best you can. And either supporting the head on the hands or on grips, or if you're comfortable, you can rest the head on the floor. And releasing all the way back up. So that concludes our sequence. Now, if you feel that your back wants a little massage before we go into relaxation, feel free to line your back, knees to chest, and give yourself some little circles, massage for the back. And what we'll do is we'll turn off the air conditioning for the relaxation. So I'll quickly do that. Make yourself comfortable. So we will do a little yoga nidra to finish. So just observing all the different sounds that you can hear. And then trying to let go of those external sounds and instead be conscious of your breath, perhaps your heartbeat. And if you have an intention that you would like to make for yourself, then repeating that intention 3 times. It can be something like I am peaceful, or I am healthy, I am patient, whatever it might be. And then begin to take that awareness to your right hand thumb. Feel the thumb, repeat it mentally to yourself. And then do the same with the second finger, third, fourth, fifth. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, right thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Feel your left hand thumb, second finger, third, fourth, fifth. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, left thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Feel both feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, buttocks, lower back, middle back, upper back, the whole spine. Both shoulder blades, shoulders, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, nose, tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, navel, abdomen, groin, the whole right leg, whole left leg, both legs together, whole right arm, whole left arm, both arms together, whole of the back, whole of the front, whole of the head together, legs, arms, back, front and head together, the whole body together. Awareness of your whole body relaxed, calm and still. Whole body relaxed. With the body relaxed, take the awareness back to the breath in the nostrils. And as you follow the breath in and out through the nostrils, begin to count each breath, counting backwards from 21 down to 0. You might want to think 21 inhale, 21 exhale, 20 inhale, 20 exhale. And keep counting down. Lose the count, begin again at 21. And letting go of the counting of your breaths, feeling the weight of the body on the floor, feeling the body becoming heavier and heavier as you sink towards the ground. Whole body is heavy. And awaken a sense of lightness in the body. Feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter, as if the body will float just off the ground. The whole body is light. And then taking the awareness to the eyebrow center, Picturing darkness at the eyebrow center. Picture a pink rose, a garden full of flowers, a white sandy beach, a bunch of grapes, a tiger in the forest, waves on the ocean, a beautiful sunset, high mountain peaks with snow, a wombat ice skating, the full moon, awareness of the eyebrow center. Bringing the awareness back to the whole body. Being conscious of your body lying on the floor. Being conscious of all the different sounds that you can hear. Feeling the air in the nostrils as you breathe. And beginning to deepen your breath. Invite the breath into the lungs. And as you breathe deeply, begin to move into the hands and into the feet. You gently wake the body up, stretch it out. And if you're having trouble moving, try a gentle roll of the head from side to side. And then when you're ready, rolling all the way over to the right hand side. Gently opening the eyes. And then when you're comfortable to come up to sit. And making your way up. And to finish our class, today we have a quote from Oprah Winfrey. She says, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough." So let's bring our hands together. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day, weekend, and so forth.
Thank you.
Thank you.